Hey friends, welcome to Knowledge Nest.
Have you ever wondered why one particular person keeps haunting your thoughts, as if the universe, or your own mind, refuses to let them go? Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of wisdom and curious minds, welcome. Today, we dive into the depths of the human psyche with the guidance of one of the greatest thinkers in psychology, Carl Jung. Have you ever wondered why, out of nowhere, a particular person keeps appearing in your thoughts? A friend, a stranger, a lost love, or even someone you barely know. You try to distract yourself, but they remain, lingering, echoing in the back of your mind. What if I told you that there's a deeper, hidden reason behind this, and that Carl Jung exposed this mystery nearly a century ago? Jung believed that our minds are not just isolated islands, but connected through what he called the collective unconscious. This invisible web carries symbols, emotions, and archetypes shared by all humanity. When someone is stuck in your mind, it may not be just about them. It could be what they represent within your unconscious world. Maybe they symbolize something you're yearning for, or a lesson life is trying to teach you. But there's more. Jung introduced the concept of the shadow self. It's the hidden part of your personality, containing everything you reject or refuse to accept about yourself. Often, we become mentally obsessed with people who mirror qualities buried in our shadow. They might represent strength, freedom, vulnerability, or even chaos, things we long for or fear within our own hearts. And so, our mind holds onto them as a way of revealing these hidden truths. Lastly, Jung spoke of synchronicity, a beautiful, almost mystical force connecting thoughts, emotions, and events in meaningful coincidences. If someone constantly appears in your mind, it might be more than random chance. It could be a sign of a deeper, invisible thread connecting your lives, a message from the universe or your own subconscious, urging you to pay attention. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious is one of the most fascinating and deeply influential ideas in psychology. According to Jung, beneath our personal experiences and individual thoughts lies a vast, shared unconscious mind that connects every human being. This isn't something we are consciously aware of, but it influences our emotions, behaviors, and thoughts in powerful ways. The collective unconscious contains what Jung called archetypes, universal symbols, images, and patterns of behavior that have existed throughout human history. These archetypes appear in myths, dreams, art, religion, and everyday life, silently shaping how we see the world and interact with others. When someone is constantly on your mind, it might not simply be because of who they are, but what they represent within this deeper, collective layer of your unconscious mind. They might unknowingly embody a certain archetype that is meaningful to you. For example, they could represent the lover, the hero, the innocent, or even the shadow. Without realizing it, your mind attaches deeper symbolic meanings to this person because it recognizes something ancient and universal in them. This attachment draws energy from the collective unconscious, making your thoughts circle back to them repeatedly. Sometimes a person lingers in your mind because they activate unresolved emotional patterns connected to these archetypes. You might be drawn to them because they represent a hidden desire, a life lesson you haven't yet learned, or an emotional wound you need to confront. Jung believed that these unconscious symbols and relationships influence our thoughts without our awareness. That's why you might find yourself thinking about someone even when there's no logical reason to do so. Your mind is not just reacting to their presence, but to the ancient, symbolic role they play in your unconscious world. The collective unconscious operates in ways we often don't notice. It uses people, symbols, and memories as messages, helping us navigate our inner world. When someone is always on your mind, your unconscious might be trying to guide you toward a greater understanding of yourself through the connection you feel with that person. Even though we live as individuals, we're deeply connected through this invisible web of shared human experience, and this can manifest in mysterious and meaningful ways in our daily lives. Carl Jung's idea of the shadow self is a key part of his theory of the human psyche. The shadow represents the hidden, unconscious parts of ourselves that we often reject, deny, or overlook. These can include feelings, desires, weaknesses, fears, and instincts that we consider unacceptable or uncomfortable. Instead of facing them, we push them into the unconscious mind. However, these hidden parts don't disappear. They continue to influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors from the background. Jung believed that understanding the shadow is essential for personal growth and self-awareness, as it reveals the parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge. When someone is constantly on your mind, it may be because they reflect qualities or emotions buried in your own shadow. This person acts like a mirror, showing you traits you have ignored or denied within yourself. For example, you might be drawn to someone's confidence because deep down, you struggle with insecurity. Or you might feel irritated by someone's boldness because you've been taught to suppress your own assertiveness. The mind keeps returning to these individuals not because of who they are on the surface, but because of what they represent within your hidden self. These mental fixations often happen without conscious awareness. The person becomes a symbol of a personal conflict, unresolved emotion, or unaccepted truth. You may obsess over them, feel emotionally attached, or experience strong reactions around them because they stir up feelings connected to your shadow. Jung believed that these experiences are not accidental but serve a psychological purpose, offering an opportunity for growth and healing. The mind brings these people to your attention because there's a lesson hidden within the feelings they trigger. Instead of simply dismissing thoughts about someone who lingers in your mind, Jung's philosophy encourages looking deeper into what that person represents. Are they showing you courage you lack, freedom you secretly desire, or perhaps qualities you dislike in yourself? The shadow holds both positive and negative traits, and the people we focus on often reflect both. By understanding this connection, you can begin to integrate those hidden parts of yourself, reducing the mental grip these people have over you. In this way, the mind uses other people as symbols and mirrors to reveal the unseen parts of who we truly are. Carl Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences that seem to defy logic and chance. Unlike random events, synchronicities carry personal significance and emotional weight, often happening at moments when they feel too connected to be dismissed as accidents. Jung believed that these events reveal a deeper link between our inner psychological world and the external environment. It suggests that the mind and reality are mysteriously connected, and certain events or thoughts might align with one another in ways that are not caused by one another, yet remain meaningfully related. When someone is always on your mind, synchronicity might be playing a role in this mental connection. You might start noticing symbols, events, or moments that seem to connect to that person in unusual ways. It could be hearing their name in unexpected places, seeing things they liked, or even dreaming about them without reason. These repeated connections can feel strange because they seem to follow an invisible pattern. Jung proposed that these experiences are not meaningless but serve as signals from the unconscious, connecting you with something important, whether about that person or about yourself. Such psychological connections might reflect emotions, desires, or unfinished business within you, projected through these repeated thoughts and signs. The frequency of thinking about someone could be a reflection of an unresolved issue or a message your unconscious mind is trying to deliver. Synchronicity, in Jung's view, bridges the gap between the conscious and unconscious mind, using outer experiences to reflect inner states. It offers a way for your psyche to speak to you in symbolic, often mysterious ways, using people as carriers of these deeper messages. This type of mental connection might also suggest that there's an unseen psychological bond between you and the person who is always in your thoughts. Even if you're not physically connected, synchronicity can make it feel as if your inner worlds are aligning for a reason. The timing of these thoughts and coincidences may reveal hidden emotions or unresolved matters that require your attention. Rather than brushing off these constant thoughts as random, Jung's theory encourages paying attention to the patterns and emotional reactions they trigger. In doing so, these mental fixations can lead to greater self-awareness and insight into one's emotional world.